So if you're coming over from the, let me get back up here, from the snake side breakdown, remember we are considering the snake side, all of these. Our middle is going to be everything in between, and then Dorito side all this way. So this one we're going over the snake side. If you came over from the center or the Dorito side breakdown, thank you. If you haven't checked those out yet, make sure that you go ahead and do that, so that way you are able to get more of a complete look at the field. So first things first, I can talk, is let's look at, because anytime you are looking at a field, you want to make sure, how is it that I can get shot? You know, what's the way that I need to be careful about, you know, this thing or that thing, you know, whatever it is that might be happening. So coming out here, I don't think that someone's going to be able to get a shot off quick enough to shoot you coming to this tower. Now, is it impossible? No. But the fact that it's not even 1 or 2 steps, I think is going to be pretty easy for you to do that. Now, I wouldn't linger too far back here, because you see this tower can drop over paint this way. So if you're sitting too far back and, you know, not playing a little bit tighter, it looks like they can get a drop in on you. But if you come out a little bit wide here, you should be able to block them out. But this guy has a nasty shot on this snake. I think the snake is going to have a hard time getting out here off the break. Not impossible, because it looks like there's a couple different routes that you can take. But the fact that they are able to essentially take not even 1 step off the box and just immediately come out and start shooting at the snake side gap here, it's going to make life difficult. But I'm not really opposed to someone coming right here and just shooting that. And then if they do happen to go wide, then yeah, you can see, you know, where do I need to go from there. We do have the double ladder snake, so it'll be interesting to see how people play that, and we'll dive in a little bit deeper on that one. So as we're filling out here, let me go ahead and move back a little bit. So here's some of those drop shots. I'm sorry, the deeper route that you can take. I'm just trying to see who can shoot you. So it looks like the back center can drop shots a little bit deeper over the top of that Aztec, maybe even the top of the pin. So if you're taking the deeper route, that would be a threat from you for sure. The tower, I guess, could shoot this way, but it's pretty blind for them. Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like, if we go up here, some of the routes that you can take would be literally coming up and then diving across shallow. Another one would be coming on the deep line. Then you could actually decide if you wanted to keep going into the corner there. I'm sure that there's an in-between as well that would work, but yeah, just something to try out when you're actually practicing on this particular layout. So let's keep moving out, and I'm going slowly, just trying to see, again, who is it that shoots me on the way out, because I don't care. Like I've said a million times before, it doesn't matter if you come here and you can shoot 15 people. If I die 3 steps off the box, it doesn't make a difference. So like, if I was going to be playing this layout and I was playing this tower, I'd probably want to practice, how do I shoot that? You know, set up a target over here and just figure out how do we go ahead and get the you know, the shot off the break there. So as we go a little bit further out, I want to look at the corner first, and then we'll come up into here, because I'm just curious. Okay, so you're safe there. Oh, the tower has a great shot going into here, and the back center. So anyone that's going wide here, those 2 guys are definitely going to be a huge threat for you. Yeah, I mean, the tower can shoot this, but I would say probably the bigger threat are those 2. Just because this guy, he's just kind of shooting sort of blind. These guys can basically see you go out there. Now, what about the snake here? All right, so, I mean, the way that this snake is, I think people will play this outside. But if there is someone in this corner, you're basically dead. So you have to make sure that someone does not get to this corner, because they can just take a little bit of a step out and shoot straight down here, and you have nothing to protect you. So just the way that the field is set up. But let's look at this wedge. So we're going to go back into the wedge here. So let's say we make it clean. We're in here. You do have a cross shot, but I don't think that's really going to be super useful because you'd have to just be pumping paint. And it's just blind. You might end up shooting one of your own guys coming up. I don't know if it's really worth that. So if we look at the heads up shot, okay, you would be able to shoot at your mirror, but if they stay low, I wonder actually if they can just stay low and dive across. You might still be able to skim it low enough, but it could be something that if someone's shooting at you from there, maybe pop the top real quick, shoot back at them and see if you can pull their paint higher, and then get low and dive in, because once you're here, you're safe from them. This tower still does have a decent shot coming into here, so I don't know. That guy might be a little bit more of a threat than it looked like initially. Let me see here. Yeah, so we have... I mean, it is pretty blind. I mean, you'd be shooting there and then shooting for right in there for the head of the snake. I don't think it's impossible for someone to make it to snake off break. I think it would be worthwhile trying to see how you could do that. The deep route, I think, is going to be kind of sketchy because as you're sliding, there's not really anything to protect you this way. It might be better just to go straight in, but that's why we go and shoot at each other at practice and figure out what's actually going to work. Now this is where the snake is going to get interesting. Let's get into this snake one. Actually, I need to back up and double check, because sometimes you can stop in these parts of the beams and there are some helpful things that you can do. Doesn't seem like there's a lot there though. Okay, but that's why we got to check, right? So the heads up shot is where this guy is going to be the most beneficial. And I actually wonder if they can bounce it off here into this other player. If it doesn't, it's at least going to skip into this zone and make it where it's pretty terrible for this guy to try to make a move. So, kind of shooting through here, it's going to stop them from going out wider. I don't know if it's going to be worth them trying to come up to... Whoop, I didn't want to go on top of the beam. I want to come right here. Okay, so some shots cross field, but they would have they'd have a good shot back in on you as well. And they can wrap that outside a little bit more, it looks like. It looks like your bigger threat, though, would be that guy. And then same thing with that Aztec, if they are looking this way. But yeah, you see how they can... You can see down the channel there, so that's definitely going to be a problem. Now let's see... Once you're in the 50 snake. Okay, so some decent shots going cross field. I wonder if you're having a hard time like pushing into this to shoot this, if you skip it off this, I wonder if it would kind of skip in a little bit more straight into that Dorito. That could definitely be a possibility. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but just the angle of it kind of looks like it would be doing that. So let's see here. Okay. So as we are wrapping, yeah, this guy is going to start to be a thorn in your side. That tower still seems really good here. I mean, it's going to be kind of blind. I think with these W's, if they're a little deflated or something, then different story, but I'm wondering, I'm going to have to go back and double check this and see. But yeah, this guy might be kind of an issue. All right, and let's say, just go over to this brick. Yeah. Yeah, this is where it's going to get real spicy, is getting into their snake. But how do you protect that guy trying to get up there? I think it might come from that tower, and then someone, if they don't have a snake, then the tower will be able to hold them out. But if there is someone else in the snake, having someone behind them could be beneficial. Let's see here. So just like we saw earlier, you can't really come here if there's a corner. Like they can just kind of lean out, take a step out, and you're just a dead body. But I'm wondering if you don't have anyone wide, like you really have to trust your guys to stop that that movement. You can start getting some other shots. This gap, who would see this? The can, the starfish. Looks like the tower, maybe. Yeah, and then you can just start going down to their side. So, yeah, okay, well, that's definitely there. I'm just not sure if I'm sold on the risk of that, because if they do get wide, then you are dead. But the fact that you can just crawl and get all the way down without getting shot from the inside, I think that's going to be the big thing. So that's where it's going to be worth it. So if you don't have someone wide with you, even if they're in the wedge, that's okay. They can stay in that wedge. You see how you're blocked out on this outside. The second they get to that snake corner, you're kind of donezo. So that's where that risk is going to come in. All right, let's look at this little W. So these are here for sure to do something. Okay, so a little bit more cut up on the Dorito side, kind of like that. This is where it might be helpful. Like if you know that they're in the outer snake, you can shoot this little channel right here. You might even be able to skip it off the beam into that player. Let's see if we make this move up. Oh, this is sketchy. Yeah, I don't really like this to do anything to help stop the snake, because then you're just playing whack-a-mole. Yeah, not a huge fan of that. What about if we get to this 50 snake? I don't know if this risk is worth it to come to this side of the snake. I think it's going to be better to be over there. Now, I wanted to double check with this tower. Okay, so yeah, them being able to come to this tower is looking actually a lot stronger as I keep looking at it more, because of the fact that you're able to shoot into this wedge. You can see if they're trying to make a move out. If they do, you have the little shallow cut here into the snake beam, but also if they try to make the deep route, you'd be able to at least catch them or at least see where they're going on that deep route into the snake corner. So yeah, this tower looks pretty good actually. So having someone here looks pretty important, just because of the eyes that they can get. So the eyes that they have, and then if someone does get into the snake, they can shoot right through here. So I think you will. What's my height? I mean, even someone shorter like me, I think, can skim it right over there and just keep pounding paint through there. This would definitely be something that you'd want to check. See if whoever it is that might be playing this, basically to see if they should stay here or not. If you can have it where you can shoot through here and it stops them, then great. If not, the guy that you need to have with your snake is this guy right here. This is what it's looking like because of this channel. So you can kind of lean out, shoot the channel. Pretty sure that if you bounce it off here, it'll bounce into this guy. So if there is someone else that's there, yeah, if they start shooting back at you, what's the route? You might just have to battle it. Because if you go in and they make the move down the snake, then that's just going to be an issue for sure. So really interesting snake side. I like this. This is kind of crazy. So so tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. If you haven't gotten over to the middle or the Dorito side breakdown, please go ahead and do that. So that way you get a whole idea of the field. Thanks again to the EPL. Good luck to everyone that's going to be playing out there. And I'll see you in the next one. As always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.